The enemy raised a huge hammer and swung it towards the sister. The younger brother behind her suddenly took out a sharp, big knife. He slashed at the hammer, which was ranked 7th in the national weapon rankings. The younger brother only used half the power of the big knife and immediately knocked the opponent to the ground. It turned out that the younger brother was holding the #1 ranked weapon, the big knife. Everyone was extremely surprised. This #1 ranked big knife had been missing for 20 years. How could it be in the hands of this ordinary man in front of them? All of this goes back to 20 years ago. The younger brother was still a little boy. That day, he was watching his father forge a big knife with his mother. Through his father's relentless effort, he finally forged the #1 ranked big knife. But at that moment, his father's enemies suddenly arrived. They wanted to kill and steal the knife. His parents put up a fierce resistance, but the enemies cruelly killed his parents. But fortunately, the younger brother escaped the manor with his parents' help. 20 years had passed. After escaping the manor, the younger brother found the god of war. He trained under the god of war for many years. Finally, he mastered the use of the big knife. He immediately bid farewell to the god of war, because he was going down the mountain to find his family. Although the younger brother lost his parents, he still had an older sister and grandfather. He was going to protect the family members who were still alive. The younger brother decisively left. But after going down the mountain, he didn't go straight home. Instead, he went to a weapon shop. He wanted to bring a gift home. His family had always made a living by forging weapons. So the younger brother bought all the powerful weapons in the shop. At that moment, a beautiful woman walked into the shop. She was also there to buy weapons. The younger brother immediately recognized that the woman in front of him was his sister. But the younger brother did not immediately acknowledge his sister. He wanted to give his sister a big surprise when they got home. The sister looked at several weapons, but the younger brother had already bought all the weapons. The younger brother said he could lend her the weapons, but she had to take him to see the weapon competition. The weapon competition was an internal contest in their family to test the quality of weapons. If a weapon won first place, the owner of the weapon would also receive a generous reward. The sister had come to buy weapons today to participate in the competition. She really wanted to win, so she agreed to the younger brother's request. Meanwhile, the younger brother's grandfather was at home preparing for the competition. But suddenly, a group of thugs barged into the house. The leader of the group was called Smith. Their family had always been rivals with the grandfather's family, and today, they came to trouble the grandfather. The grandfather was not someone easy to bully. He immediately brought his apprentice to stop Smith. But since the younger brother's father passed away, their family had become increasingly destitute. Now, they could no longer defeat Smith's family. Smith casually grabbed a weapon and smashed it. He mocked that what the grandfather forged was nothing but garbage. The grandfather could not defeat Smith. He could only ask Smith what he wanted. Smith finally revealed his intentions. He wanted to take over all of the grandfather's family's weapons and property. The grandfather refused Smith. He angrily accused Smith of wanting to steal the weapons to kill people, but weapons were meant to protect one's family. To his surprise, Smith immediately burst out laughing. He mocked the grandfather for being too foolish. With weapons, one could conquer the world, not for the ridiculous purpose of protecting family. At this moment, the sister and younger brother returned home. They glanced around and immediately understood the situation. The sister quickly took control of the situation. She had brought many powerful weapons home today. She was sure they could drive Smith out. Unexpectedly, Smith wasn't scared at all. He arrogantly mocked the scrap iron the sister brought back. After that, Smith ordered his men to show the weapons he brought. Everyone was shocked when they saw them. Not only was there the sword ranked 10th in the weapon rankings, but also the hammer ranked 7th. Smith proudly declared, if the sister's weapons can beat his, he would immediately leave the sister's house. The sister agreed to Smith's challenge. In the first round, she took out the long sword her father had forged. Smith brought out the sword, ranked 10th. The two weapon owners immediately began their duel. To everyone's surprise, the sword ranked 10th actually lost. The sister smiled confidently. She told Smith to leave quickly. Furious, Smith sent the hammer's owner to fight. This hammer truly lived up to its rank as the 7th weapon. The hammer's owner defeated the opponent with a single move. Other followers of the sister also stepped forward to challenge. Unfortunately, they all lost. The hammer shattered all the weapons into pieces. One of the fragments unexpectedly flew towards the sister. The next moment, the younger brother placed the big knife in front of his sister. The fragments instantly stopped moving. Everyone was extremely surprised. This big knife wrapped in a rag actually managed to withstand the hammer's attack. The younger brother smiled proudly. After all, he was holding the #1 ranked big knife. But Smith wasn't afraid at all. He mocked the younger brother for bragging. The younger brother was about to teach Smith a lesson when the sister suddenly stopped him. She didn't want her brother to take the risk. The sister gracefully raised her red tassel spear. She was going to personally challenge the hammer. But unfortunately, even though the sister was skilled, the enemy's hammer was just too powerful. The sister was quickly defeated. At that moment, the younger brother changed the course of the battle with just one strike. At this point, everyone had to believe that the knife the younger brother held was truly the legendary #1 sword in the world.